Fun fact, I once stubbed my toe on a fossil. And you know what happened after that? My toe was Dinosaur. Please don't unsubscribe. Good day and good morning, everyone, and hello from Disney's Animal Kingdom. This is one of my favorite parks here at Disney. I've always appreciated this park just because of the detail, because of the sense of adventure that it gives you, and of course it has some amazing rides like Flight of Passage, Everest, Kilimanjaro safaris. Now, I'm only going to be spending a pretty short amount of time here. I wanted to spend maybe half the day, but I think I need to do a little more running around if I want to try to get Cosmic Rewind over at Epcot. But later today, we will be going to Magic Kingdom, which is exciting. Hopefully going to be able to do Tron and a few of the other rides there. But for now, we're just waiting for the park to officially open. Like, we're through the gates, but we still have 20 minutes before the general public can go and explore. So without any further ado, let the Disney adventures begin. Alright, we are starting our journey today here in Pandora, the world of Avatar. I decided to rope drop Flight of Passage, which is usually the best way to get on with a minimal amount of weight, especially because I'm not planning on coming back later tonight. Otherwise, it's a good ride to do right before closing. Other than that, yeah, morning is usually your best bet. All right, I just got off a Flight of Passage, which is such a fantastic ride. It is just so breathtaking. It is visually stunning. Mind you, the 3D was off a little bit. That is one little gripe that I have this time. And I was towards the end, which always, you know, it's not the best seat, but still, it is a fantastic ride. It really gets to your emotions because there's moments of thrill where you're diving off of the cliffs, soaring out over the oceans, but then there's some relaxing, more reflective moments as well. So it really balances that nicely, and I mean, all of that is tied together beautifully by the score. It's just a fantastic ride, and it's easily become one of my favorites at the resort, an instant classic. And I think I was also smart with rope dropping it because I'm not staying on the resort. I wasn't eligible for early entry, and I was kind of worried that all of those guests would fill up the line because the posted wait while I was waiting at the Oasis was 90 minutes. By the time I actually got into the park at 8, it had jumped up to 120, but it's only like, it's just past 9 now. So I didn't even wait an hour for it. So don't always trust the posted wait times and come early. It definitely pays off. In other news, I was kind of freaking out in the queue because I was trying to get a lightning lane for Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind. It's one of those things that I can't leave here without doing. So I ended up splurging and going for the, getting the lightning lane, and I didn't want to risk with the virtual queue. Plus, I'm also trying to get Tron. So, I wanted to at least have one secured and then, gamble with the virtual queues later. But I was freaking out because it said my payment wasn't going through. Like, it kept getting rejected, so I kept trying it over and over again, and there was all these issues. And then, of course, I got on the ride, and I didn't want to worry about it while I was riding, obviously. But I thought I had missed my chance. But as it turned out, I ended up securing a lightning lane for $340, which is perfect, because that means I can spend a few more hours here, get to Magic Kingdom for 1 to try for the Tron lightning lane, because for those of you who don't know, there's lightning lanes that open at 7 in the morning. I wasn't able to get any of those. And then there's another release later in the day but you need to be in that specific park in order to qualify. I didn't know that yesterday, so I completely missed out my chances. But today, I'm on it. We made a game plan so I can head over to Magic Kingdom, do a few rides there, jump over to Epcot, and then I want to finish my day in Magic Kingdom as well. I really want to see Happily Ever After. I haven't seen that show yet. Really excited for that. So yeah, I think we have a good plan of attack here. But for the rest of our morning, there's two rides in particular that I really want to do today. One is Dinosaur, which is one of my favorites here at Animal Kingdom. And the other one is Expedition Everest, another one of my favorites, and it was closed during my last visit in 2022. So it's been a hot minute since I got to do Everest. So I'm really excited to get back on it today. So although I had a coffee at the hotel, I haven't had a proper breakfast yet. So I decided to try out, if the wind will let me show it, this stuffed pancake. All right, just took my first bite, so you can see what the inside looks like there, but it is really, really good. So obviously the outside is made out of pancake. Then there's egg, cheese, and I believe it's guava paste is what the sign said, but it's a really good combination. Also at the stand, you had the option to round up your total to make a donation for animal conservation. And they gave me this bin, this little button. Look at that. That's so cute. I love this. That made me happy. Alrighty, heading into Dinorama, which might not be long for the world, unfortunately. I actually really love Dinoland USA. It's definitely in need of some major improvements, but I think the dinosaur theme should persist. I mean, I know the parks are constantly evolving. You can't have parks that are just stagnant, but I still think it's okay to stay true to the original vision of the park, one that celebrates animals of the present, past, and myth. And they did, like, I'm counting Avatar as like the myth part of it, but they need to keep the animals of the past. If it was up to me, I would actually redesign this whole area to be Pangea, which would kind of fit in with the whole continent theme that they have going on with the other lands like Asia, Africa. You can kind of count Pandora in there as well. And then just turn it into, I don't know, like a prehistoric field base or something. To expand on the story of the Dino Institute. But that's just me. But yeah, the area definitely looks empty without Primeval Whirl. Fun fact, I once stubbed my toe on a fossil. And you know what happened after that? My toe was Dinosaur. Please don't unsubscribe.
I'm Dr. Marsh, Director of the Dino Institute, and I hope you enjoyed those quaint exhibits in the old wing. That's how dinosaurs have been presented to the public since the study of fossils began over 150 years ago.
Hello there. Welcome to our little trans-dimensional joyride, folks. I'm Dr. Seeker, your friendly controller, and a heck of a paleontologist, if I do say so myself.
Computer, what are you tracking?
Styracosaurus.
Not our dino.
Warning, meteor shower in range.
Just little one.
Oleoramus.
Now what?
Carnotaurus.
That's it! Abort mission!
That was my last official ride on Dinosaur. Well, unless I do another trip to Orlando between now and when the construction starts, but I'm not planning anything at the moment, so I think that was it. Because yes, at this summer's D23 Fan Expo event, Disney did confirm that Dinoland USA would be transformed into Tropical Americas. Now, I did a big breakdown on that in my theme park parlay episode, but just to recap, I am really excited about Tropical Americas. I think it looks like a great land. I think the Imagineers are taking a lot of care to kind of keep the integrity of Animal Kingdom in the land, and the attractions that were announced for it do look really cool. It's just that I really want to preserve the idea of dinosaurs within the park. I mean, I'm not even that mad about Dinosaur being replaced. I love Dinosaur. I think it's a fantastic ride, but having done the Indiana Jones ride over at Disneyland, I can see the potential for an Indiana Jones makeover. So I'm not even that mad about it, especially considering that they're going to be bringing a new story to the Tropical Americas version of the ride. So it's not going to be a direct port of what we have over at Disneyland. But like I was saying in this video, it would be nice to keep the idea of dinosaurs alive through a Pangea themed land, you know, expand the idea of the Dino Institute as a field research station, do a couple rides around that, where instead of being a roadside attraction, you're actually immersed into a prehistoric landscape. I don't know if the Imagineers would do something like that. There is space for it if they really wanted to, so we'll see what happens, I guess. But yeah, I just wanted to put this in as my farewell to Dinoland USA. It is a misunderstood land, in my opinion. I think once you look into the backstory and the lore of the land, you really start to appreciate it a lot more. But I am excited to see what's on the horizon, and I am sad but optimistic for what lies ahead. Everest so much. It is such a fun ride. Definitely one of the best Disney coasters out there. Again, barring the two that I haven't done yet. I love all the details of the ride. Like, it has a very elaborate backstory, and if you know it, you definitely tend to appreciate the ride more. And I mean, I guess that's true for any of these rides here in Florida, but especially with this one. I have such a soft spot for it. It has always been one of my favorites here at the park. And I mean, between this, Flight of Passage, and Dinosaur, this is why I love Animal Kingdom so much. It has 3 of my favorite Disney rides. So fun fact about Everest that a lot of people don't actually realize is that the mountain you see in front of you, that's not Mount Everest. That's the Forbidden Mountain. Mount Everest is actually the second peak here. It's supposed to be like way in the distance. And if you look at this chart here, you can kind of see you have the Forbidden Mountain, then you have Everest, just like we see right there. These are gibbons. Okay, one of my favorite hidden spots here at Animal Kingdom are these old landing docks that used to be used for the Discovery Island riverboats, but they allow you to come here on the water surrounding Discovery Island and look at that. This is one of the best views of the Tree of Life that you can get. And you can kind of see little old remnants of the riverboat too. It's kind of cool. Like, it's kind of one of these bygone pieces of Disney history that, you know, guests who don't know the history of the park wouldn't really realize. So in order for me to stay on schedule, I can only stay in this park until about noon, which makes the prospects of riding Kilimanjaro safaris just a little too tight for comfort. I might be able to try it and make it work, but I wouldn't want to get caught up and miss my chance to get over to Magic Kingdom for a Tron virtual queue. So I think instead, to get my animal fix, I'm just gonna spend the next hour or so just exploring the trails here at Animal Kingdom. And I mean, that is something that I love to do anyways. The Gorilla Falls Trail and the Maharajah Jungle Trek. It's a great way to see some animals up close and personal without riding the safari. Plus, there's some animals on those trails that you can't see in the safari anyways. So if you want the full Animal Kingdom experience, you really have to do all 3. But for me, who's on a short time crunch, just doing the trails will be fine enough. Okay, Kieran, one of my favorite parts of the trail is the birdhouse, and you can pick up one of these bird spotting guides to help you figure out what birds you're looking at. Like this one. Like this guy who appears to be a Tabita golden weaver. Very cool. This one here looks to be Bruce's green pigeon. This duck-looking one down here is a marbled teal. For those of you who don't know, my day job is actually as a biologist, so I actually study the migratory patterns of birds and how they're affected by light and light pollution. So anything like this where I can interact with the birds is definitely up my alley. I could probably spend hours in here, but there is more to see on the trail, so we're gonna keep going. Alrighty, on to our second trail, the Maharajah jungle trek. I like this one more personally just because I think I just have a greater affinity for the Asian animals. I mean, both trails are great, obviously, but this one is neat because you get to see tigers, bats, and back there I just passed the Komodo dragon exhibit. So unfortunately, I did not get a very good look at the tiger. He was sleeping in the shade and just a little hard to see, not good enough to put on camera. So I mean, that's the one thing with these animal exhibits. Sometimes it's hit or miss depending on how active they are. So if you have time and you don't see an animal the first time around, you can always come back later and try again. And of course, this trail has a bird exhibit as well. We love the bird exhibits. I made a Beauteous. These are so cute. I love them. Anyways, I am now heading back to Expedition Everest. I think I can squeeze into the single rider line again and get one more ride. And then after that, we're gonna head over to Magic Kingdom. So I'll probably catch up with you there. And that is going to do it for my time at Disney's Animal Kingdom. I've always said that Animal Kingdom is my favorite of the 4 Walt Disney World parks. There's just so much detail and culture and backstory woven into every aspect of the park. I mean, yeah, you could come in and do the attractions as quickly as possible and get out, but it really is a park that you need to take your time in to fully appreciate and to fully, I don't know, just understand. It's a park that you need to take slow. Unfortunately, given the circumstances of my trip, I wasn't really afforded that luxury, but you know, I still found some time to stop and smell the roses, such as when I did the animal trails in Africa and Asia. And of course, I also got to say my farewells to Dinoland USA. I almost wish that I got to do one more ride on Dinosaur, but it is what it is. And as I've said many times, I can't wait to see what becomes of Tropical Americas when that opens. I'm also glad that I got to return to Pandora and of course do Expedition Everest again. I really missed doing that ride during my last visit, so I'm glad that it was open for me this time and running as good as ever. Of course, we have one more vlog left in this series, and that one is mostly going to focus on Magic Kingdom. But as I've alluded to, I also purchased an individual lightning lane for Cosmic Rewind over in Epcot, so we're gonna dedicate some time for that as well. So I'm really excited to share that, and I think that it was the perfect way to cap off this trip. So if you don't want to miss that video or any of my other adventures from theme parks, attractions, and beyond, you might want to consider becoming a subscriber. You can also find me on social media. I'm at ADV Parker on Instagram, Threads, and Twitter, and at Adventures with Parker on Facebook and TikToks. Of course, I gotta give a shout out to my Patreon members for all of the stuff that you do. And if you're interested in supporting the channel with its monthly donation in exchange for some sweet perks and bonus content, head on over to patreon.com/ADVParker to learn more. Once again, thank you so much for joining me on this adventure. And until next time, the adventures are calling. Bye! Just because I'm not planning on coming back later tonight. Good. Oh god.